Ah! Uh-oh, they going back for the 5th ring, baby. CP3 in the house. Chris Paul can finally get that ring. It's on. It is on. Oh, boy. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. This is something else, people. Now, y'all might want some details into this. So I said, well, let me get the details. Now that the trade is over, we can go ahead and tell you what we know. Former Golden State Warrior, who's connected to the Golden State Warriors still, won championships with the team. Got 3 championships with the team. And might have got a ring for the 4th one, just because he's affiliated. He's an Illinois native, very close to the family. And we'll let y'all figure that out. Now, apparently, Jordan Poole had asked for a trade. I'm going to tell you this right now. He asked to be moved. When they had their exit meeting, he says, this isn't going to work out. All season, he felt out of place and felt like the team really wasn't with him and was more with Draymond. And he tried to come together, but Draymond wants to have him being subservient to him. And he's like, I can't do that. And that's why he said, look, once I signed my deal, that was supposed to change. He's like, look, I make more money than you. You're not finna tell me what to do. No player's finna tell me what to do. And I make more money than them. That's what he was telling Draymond. Like, dog, I make more money than you. You can't tell me. Like, after I signed the deal, you can't rookie me in my 2nd season. He's like, I can see that before I get my deal, I got to take it. But once I get my deal, you're supposed to take off all the rings. And he's like, Draymond never did that. And I'm like, dog, this ain't Phi Beta Warrior. This is basketball. The Golden State Warriors, I don't care how many years you in here. If you screwing up, you screwing up. This ain't the Phi Beta Golden State Warriors. Now, he didn't want to be on the team next season if Draymond was going to be on the team. That was his whole thing. Is Dray going to be here? I can't be here. And Bob Myers told him, I'm renegotiating my contract, and that hasn't been going well. So, I don't know if I'm going to be here either. But Bob chose Jordan Poole. He said, I chose you. Everybody else voted not to re-sign you. Bob Myers is the only one that signed off on re-signing Jordan Poole. Saying we got to start getting the next Steph Curry now. Steph Curry's got 3-4 more years, but we're going to be spending 10 years in the bottom trying to find somebody else to be the new Steph Curry. We got a guy who's proven he can score the basketball. You can get somebody to get him the ball. So his approach was, we could let Draymond go. And this is Bob Myers. He's like, we can't pay. His philosophy was not to pay Draymond that kind of money. Bob Myers saw Draymond as a great player, a facility piece for the team, but we can't overpay you for that price. Well, the other owners thought different. They saw what happened with Jordan Poole and said, this looked bad. And we can't lose Draymond. We can't. We lose Draymond, we're breaking up our pieces. It's just like losing Clay. You know, we can't lose Dre, Clay. Like, we drafted that. Dre, Clay, and Draymond, we got to hold on to them. They got to lead together. You know, like, we started splitting this up early. Plus, Steph himself told them in the exit meeting when they was asking him about Jordan Poole, Draymond, he was like, I don't want to lose Dre. That's what Steph said. I don't want to lose Dre. He's like, I can't speak about other people's contract, but I just don't want to lose Dre. He ain't said nothing about Poole. He said Dre. I don't want to lose Dre. And he was like, okay, well, you know, we'll see what we can do. He's just like, all right. So when they asked him his opinion, he said, I don't want to lose Dre. That's right. Hit the like button, good people. Hit the like button. We know y'all real people and not bots. Like, you know, other people have bots. So hit the like button, good people. There's no click farms over here. We don't need click farms. We get it organically. We like talking to real people. Not making it look like they got real people. Like, we got 5,000 people in the chat. It's like, Nick. What? Now, if you told me you ate 5,000 cheeseburgers, I can believe that. But 5,000 in the chat. Who the hell you fooling? Now, that's right. We ain't bots from Bangladesh. Hit that like button up. Not that we mad at y'all from Bangladesh. What's up? We riding with y'all. Y'all should get a raise. Now, back to this. Yeah, I was talking to T just about 10 minutes ago talking about this. Now, Draymond situation is he want to stay with the Warriors. He do. But he want to get paid. And he felt like the 20-something million that he had, this is the chance to get his money. He's right. This was the opportunity. If he was to do the buy-in, it would have been the stupidest thing in the world. Test the market. While people will still see you as valuable. Now, will he be as valuable on another team? Like the Lakers? Absolutely. He would be valuable. The Lakers don't have the money to commit to Draymond Green. They can make some moves, but if they do that, they're going to have to cut out a lot of players they want to bring back. They want to bring back Hillbilly Kobe. They have a white guy that can play basketball a little bit that the league seems to protect. As long as he's with LeBron, we need to protect those guys. But now they want to get a big splash player that can put up some points. Because AD can't be trusted and LeBron can't be trusted. LeBron in this league struggling to score 20-something points. Easy as it is to score in this league now. They done blew up a role player, giving him 17 free throws in a game. God awful. So, anyhow, Jordan Poole, who's a very Christian man, kept turning to God. He'd call his mama. He literally would call his mama and say a prayer. His mom would say a prayer with him and a couple of other players. Steph would pray with him. Like when he wanted him to pray, Steph would come over and they'll say a prayer. He'll drop his head or whatever. But Steph don't get extraordinarily religious in the locker room. Jordan Poole is like super religious, believing faith is gonna be the reason to pull him through. It's gonna give him the confidence. He lacks confidence. That was on his scouting report. Lacks confidence. So when he gets it, he's unstoppable. He's like Scottie Pippen. Once he gets confidence, he can get off. But once he ain't confident and the team lose confidence in him, which he felt Kerr did, he didn't like Steve Kerr pulling him out of the games because he felt like he was in his head. As he told him, he said, look, you mentally are not in the game. He's like, I don't care about you missing shots. It's the type of shots you're missing and how you're missing them. Your head's not in the game. So that's why I'm taking you out the game. For those reasons. Mm-hmm. Oh, the TV sitcoms, they started to flag me for telling stuff about that. It's crazy how they don't want me talking about stuff. But yeah, I had plenty of TV shows. I had the truth behind TV sitcom. A lot of stuff people didn't know. Man, I started getting unnecessarily flagged for those. I'm like this is copyright of ABC sitcoms. I'm like, it's a still photo. It's goofy as hell. See, Piston basketball controls everything. You see, the Golden State Warriors is nothing but the Detroit Pistons from the 89-90. They're Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars. That's Stephen Clay. Lambert is Draymond. Y'all the modern day Detroit Pistons. See, but y'all wouldn't know that. They're playing our style of basketball and winning. Now, if you don't know what Piston basketball is, it's actually execution. Everybody doing their job to the T. You don't think we control basketball? The 96 Bulls don't control nothing. Chicago Bulls have no culture in basketball. Everything you seeing in the NBA today, Pistons. Stretch 5, Detroit Pistons. You know Michael Malone, how did they win the finals? Playing Piston basketball. Did you know that? Playing Piston basketball. Who was the Piston stretch 5? Oh, Jesus Christ. I forgive you. You must be young. Do you know who Bill Lambert is, sir? I know you probably see Bill Lambert and they just show highlights of him fouling people, right? So you never get to see that he was a 3-time All-Star for a reason. He was shooting threes like there was no tomorrow. He had the NBA's finals records of 6 3-pointers in a game back when, guys didn't shoot threes. He was the first stretch 5. Then Mike Malone is trained by his father. Who's Michael Malone's father? The coach of the Denver Nuggets. Who's his father? There you go. Daryl Jones is on top of it, baby. Detroit Pistons assistant coach Brendan Malone for the championships through the bad boy Piston era. So if you watch the Denver Nuggets play, Joker plays a stretch and he comes in and plays the post. You've seen more post-ups when the Denver Nuggets played in the NBA Finals than you've ever seen in any game in this modern era. Why? Because the Pistons are a post-playing team. Mark Aguirre could post you up. Adrian Dantley could post you up. James Buda Edwards could post you up. Joe Dumars could post you up. Lambert could post you up. Everybody post up. In this series, Murray would post you up. The Joker would post you up. Gibson would post you up. I mean Gordon, not Gibson. Hey, how you doing? Gordon would post you up. They posted up Miami every chance they got. They are a post-playing team. And they can go in transition. In the 80s, 90s, those guys can run a transitional break. How many 4-on-1 breaks you see in today's NBA and they don't even score? They have a 4-on-1 break and can't score the basketball. That would get you benched for about 5 games if you was doing that in the 80s and 90s. You screw up a 3-on-1 break, get back in for dumbass. Get him out. You got to go. They didn't play. You was about the game. Well, of course, the Pistons changed the game. You know, y'all still be riding on the bus if it wasn't for the Pistons. We were the first team with a private plane. Round ball one, buddy. Bad boy. So now we assessed why a bad boy Piston fan will be wearing Golden State Warriors. Because they're the modern day Golden State Warriors. Somebody said, I don't believe that. What don't you believe, Chris G? Everything we said has been factual. So what part of it don't you believe? I'm very curious to know. Still riding on buses. Yeah, pretty much. You would be if it wasn't for us flying planes. I mean, you guys caught the planes. You know, you got to go to the West Coast. You ain't going to ride the bus. But you riding in there. You riding in coach. You riding next to Bubba from, hi, I'm from Naples. I'm Bob. What do you do? Oh, you're biggin'. You play football or basketball? I really don't watch basketball. I play a lot of golf. Play golf? Yeah, I bet you could probably drive the ball about 400 yards. You should probably think about golf. Yeah, man, it's a tough game. It's kind of hot. Man, we was in Tucson, Arizona. Oh, gosh. Oh, the heat there is exhausting. Oh, my bunions are killing me. You don't mind if I take my socks off, do you? You know? My dogs are barking. That's what he gonna be up there again. You was gonna be sitting next to them. This is why Kareem he hated traveling. Kareem would wait in the bathroom because he didn't want to be annoyed by fans while they were waiting on the plane. So as soon as the plane is there and they're loading up, boom, now boarding. They'll knock on the bathroom door like, come on, Cap. It's time. So he'll come out the bathroom, beelining straight in there. Don't talk to anybody. Yeah, Kareem was that guy. So yeah, we weren't flying commercial. We had our own private plane. Our owner bought the plane. Don't belong to the NBA. So everybody was mad and jealous. Why the Pistons ain't even won a championship? How the hell do they have a plane? Cause you know why? We were selling out a football stadium. 60,000 people coming to see a basketball game. To see the Detroit Pistons. We were selling out. We played where the Lions played, in the Silverdome. We were selling that place out. So our owner, who is progressively smart, and says, my guys are rock stars. In 1 year, he had us built, they had them build us a stadium in Auburn Hills, the Palace. And the Silverdome was stupid not to make that deal. They was like, we ain't paying y'all that kind of money. He said, okay, then we'll get our own stadium. And then you get a dime, no more Piston money. They were like, okay, fine, we got the Lions. Good luck. And we see how that turned out, right? You see how that turned out. All the championships was won in the Palace of Auburn Hills. And believe me, y'all was staying in the Ready Roof hotels, complaining about we ain't got enough ice. We were staying at the top floor suites in 5-star hotels. Every city we went to, we stayed at the best hotels, 5-star. Dr. Buss wasn't even putting the Lakers up like that. Nobody was. Now you're going to start asking yourself another question. Why the hell the world champions, the Boston Celtics, don't even got that? And they winning all these championships. Why they don't have that? That don't make any sense. You see, what the Celtics and Lakers did was open the door to the money. They introduced it, but they didn't know how to capitalize off of it. They weren't caught up into the modern game. They're old school guys. They had a boy playing in the rec center if they could. Dr. Buss, if it was sleazy, he was with it. He went about 5-star hotels. That's too fancy dancy for him. He wanted to be in a place with low lights so can't nobody see him, so he can do his dirt. He ain't trying to be in no flashy place. But the only way to get Dr. Buss to buying a plane is when Magic Johnson got pissed and said, we the champions of the world. And the damn Detroit Pistons got a plane, and we don't. How they gonna have something over you, Dr. Buss? You got all the championships. We look ridiculous. We don't get us a plane. We need a plane. And they was like, think about it. It's your own private plane. They can't search you for nothing. Anything you bring on there, girls, pills, it's all you, Dr. Buss. No airport security? No airport security. It's your plane. So you get it right to your plane and you get on there. I'm getting a plane. So that's how you had to sell Dr. Buss on getting a plane. But nobody was thinking like that. Then they started complaining. Why are we not staying in 5-star hotels? Why the Detroit Pistons are doing it? So we changed the game of basketball. All the way around. A little small team from Detroit. So that's why the Pistons are the greatest team in the history of the game of basketball. Not only were they the greatest team to ever play, greatest team ever to assembled, and would whip any one of these teams that's playing today. Yeah, throw that to the side. That's beside the point. What is the main point here? This circumvents all the way back to why Jordan Poole is gone. He was an Adrian Dantley. You got to get rid of a guy like that. When they become cancerous to the team, everybody blames Isaiah Thomas or Adrian Dantley. I hear it all the time. Man, look what they did to Dantley. Look what they did to old Dantley. Look what they did to Dantley. I said, what did they do to Dantley? Chris Paul is the one that used to, Steph Curry used to go to his camps. Play under, he dribbles just like, it's the basic dribble that what's his name possess. Yep, it was a basic dribble that was possessed by no one other than, for some reason, I gotta agree to a policy. My TV's going through a reboot. I hate all that crap. But Chris Paul, CP3, Steph followed everything he learned from him, and he embarrassed him when he played for the Clippers, the Houston, and now the old mentor is over there teamed up with Steph. So now if it don't work out, you know who they gonna blame? The 40-year-old player, man. CP3 gotta realize, man, he's a role player now. Now you come in for supporting roles. Because Poole was starting at one point. So now they're moving on from the Jordan Poole era. He got an NBA championship. It was thank you for your service. But as I told you, Poole wanted out. In the exit meetings he had with the team, and he said he does not want to play another season with Draymond Green. He does not. It's not going to work. So if you can't move Draymond, and because he felt like the team is with Dre. Steph is with Dre. He's not with me. Everybody's on Dre's side in the matter. Even when he got punched, the team never really had his back. The only person that had Draymond's back when that went down was one person only. That had Poole's back, that was Wiggins. Wiggins and I believe Looney. They told Loon to stay out of it, but he did stay out of it. Loon I did stay out of it, but I said, I don't agree with this. Yeah, well, it sours in some situations, right? When they say people fly too close to the sun. Well, when people fly too close to the sun, what you think they're doing it for? They say that for a reason. No, 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 no. No, he has to go, and the reason that he's gone, the major reason he's gone, folks. Now that everybody's here, we can all get into it. The main reason he's gone is that Bob Myers is the reason he was there. Everybody else was not sure about bringing back and paying two role players that kind of money. Bob Myers said, "We're going to bring them back because we just won a championship. Let's not screw this up." He's like, paying this guy, Jordan Poole, this kind of money. That's basically saying goodbye to Draymond Green. Bob Myers is okay with that. Saying at another year with Draymond, if it don't work out, it's probably time to move on from Draymond. The other owners is not, they're looking from a business standpoint. Losing Draymond is kind of foolish. We don't want to lose Draymond. And he felt Jordan Poole was more valuable than Draymond Green. At that point, Bob Myers did. The organization didn't agree. And in last season, what they saw after the punch and everything else, and after talking with Draymond and everything else, they saw how the season played out and said, Jordan Poole can't be trusted in big situations. So if Draymond's gonna be gone or not, I can't see him coming out of a spiral the way other teammates was responding to him. Like other teammates are not rallying around him. You know, he's not even listening to Steph. Now that's a problem. Now how we gonna have this guy getting ready to be our new Steph and he mentally shuts down? No, we can't have that. So Bob Myers is in a contract situation himself, and what he wanted and what they offered him, he felt wasn't enough. Now, they play it in the papers and to the rest of the world that he's the architect. He's not the architect. You see, this, let me tell you, there's been a lot of lies told. This man is not the architect that y'all think he is. He's not. Larry built that team, not him. Larry brought in Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. So I don't know what he talking about. No, the general manager, Larry Riley. Riley brought that in there. That's right. The dark history of the Golden State Warriors. They give Bob Myers all this credit, and he didn't build a damn thing. He rode the wave. He didn't even get Kevin Durant. Draymond Green said, "Man, we can get Kevin Durant. He said he'll play." So he didn't even get credit for getting Kevin Durant. So what did Bob Myers do again? You didn't bring Steph and Clay over here? If you ain't bring Steph and Clay, how the hell you talking about what you did? At least Bob didn't F it up. He almost did. Mark Jackson was the coach who got in there and decided to play. He changed the lineup and decided to play Steph and Clay. Bob Myers and them, well, that was actually basically partially Larry's decision, but they had to move away from Steph due to the injuries, right? And Bob Myers had basically took over. And Larry was put in there as a consultant. So Draymond, how did Draymond get to the team? Because Larry scouted Draymond Green at Michigan State and said, that's the guy we need. That's your real architect. Why was he gone? Because you got new ownership that came in there. The new ownership wanted Bob Myers. Why? Because they can go to the same clubs. Dun, dun, macho, macho man. Oh, they wanted him to be a macho man. Macho, macho man. Yeah, he was at the same club. He wants to be a macho. Hit the like button, good people. So they wanted the money to trade away Poole so that they can re-sign Draymond Green back to the Golden State Warriors. They're going to pay Draymond the money. You see, you had to find somebody dumb enough to pull this off. So now the Wizards got what they wanted. That's the only reason, because the whole thing was people were very confused. Why would the Golden State Warriors trade for somebody like Chris Paul, who's 40, and give up Bradley Beal for Chris Paul? That's dumb. It's because Bradley Beal had a non-trade clause, and he was screwing the team up by holding them hostage. He was holding them completely hostage. And by holding the team hostage, meaning that they had better deals, better offers for him, and Bradley Beal just wouldn't take it. That's why he's not a New York Knick. The Knicks made crazy offers for him, and it was great. They would have got their picks back from the Knicks, everything, and Bradley Beal would not waive his trade clause for that. And that's why I'm saying you're going to see trade clause disappear. Then Stephen A. Smith going to jack my video and start talking about there's only should be 5 players with no trade clause. I'm like, oh, so you saw my video and decided to go ahead and do your own thing. Okay. I get it. Because that's what I'm saying. You can't just say, well, he had 20 and 5 and 8. Everybody's got 25, 5 and 8 now. So what's the requirement from getting a known trade clause? If you ain't a superstar, you don't get that. Like Ja Morant or somebody like that, those guys who are the top 5 and like most watched, most popular players in the league, those guys should have no trade clauses. They should be able to choose their own destiny. Other than that, you got free agency. Everybody else got to play the market. Now, because of that, Washington knew that, hey, we can get, Jordan Poole. We make the switch and get Bradley Beal over. Yeah, you get Bradley Beal over. And you can make the trade with Washington. Well, the Phoenix Suns would be very reluctant to make that trade with Golden State. And then they get stuck with Jordan Poole. That's not what they want. And to trade Jordan Poole's contract for Bradley Beal's contract is heavy. But they want Jordan Poole over in Washington, which is going to collide with Kyle Kuzma, but they're going to figure that out when they get there. Well, everybody got what they wanted. They wanted what they say, full autonomy, and they got it. So now you got cap space to sign Draymond Green. Because that's what you want in the end, right? So now you can sign Draymond Green. Oh, well, Kuzma's gone. Okay, good. So Kuzma's gone. So now they got Jordan Poole. And now they are stuck with that $160 million contract for Jordan Poole. Now, let's get to the... And don't forget to hit the like button, good people. While we're breaking it down, right before this draft hits. Yes, they want to sign Draymond, so they freed up cap space. Because you only got Chris Paul on the books for the $30 million for this season. After this season, you'll be able to sign Draymond to a master deal right now. Because after this, Chris Paul's gone. He's a free agent. They're not re-signing him back next year. They only got Chris Paul for this year, and he won't be a Warrior no more. So he'll be free to travel along the roads. Smart, well, that'd be good for them for the first 20 games till Ja Morant gets back. But, okay, you lost Dillon Brooks and you got Marcus Smart. To me, that's not a good deal. That's not a good trade. Where Dillon Brooks is going to go is the bigger question. If LeBron joins the Golden State Warriors, well, he's going to have to play for the veteran minimum of like $5. He makes too much money. He's not going to the Golden State Warriors. Michael Malone don't like LeBron. He was his assistant coach for 5 years. He knows what about him. And what he said, well, I was the only one that wasn't willing to kiss his ass. And I loved every minute of it. Every word he said, I was, yes, yes. Feel the same way. F LeBron. So I was feeling pretty good about it, honestly. But the Golden State Warriors are the bad boy Pistons. Yeah, everybody, look, the NBA knows. Steph and Clay is Joe and Isaiah. Out of any team in basketball history, the Splash Brothers, the Bad Boys. Well, why do you think they did that? They sat them down side by side for a reason. Joe Dumars really in retirement mode, boy. Good Lord. The best of this era is sitting down with the best of that era. Why would they do that? Where's Jordan and Pippen? They're not them. They brought the guards into the NBA. The game is played now through the guards. The guards are the stars. That wasn't the case until Isaiah and Joe and them was there. They were the backcourt. They were the Hall of Fame backcourt. You can't name another Hall of Fame backcourt. It's been 30 years and you can't name another Hall of Fame backcourt. Steph and Clay is going to be the only Hall of Fame backcourt to go in there. That's not a backcourt, Don the writer. It's called a front court. Bill and John Wall, are you kidding me? You think John Wall's going to the Hall of Fame? Oh my God. Right now, you think Bradley Beal's going into the Hall of Fame? That's another question. Do you think he's had a Hall of Fame career? John Wall is probably out the league right now. He's done. Right, Joe Dumars and Isaiah, they had to get their money outside of playing basketball. They're going to make more money outside of the game of basketball, on the outside of it, still connected to it, than anything else. Isaiah Thomas is running the Phoenix Suns. He traded Chris Paul and got him out of there. They got Bradley Beal over there because he's a safe player. We just went through that, right? On how safe he plays and everything he's doing. But this is why they had Clay and Steph over there sitting next to Isaiah and Joe, because these guys were that foundation. They play the same offense. They know the reads. So they know who plays like who and who doesn't play like who. Steph can't dribble like Isaiah. Isaiah could dribble, but he can't do it like Zeke. Zeke was a hell of a shooter, like Steph. Joe was a catch and pop guy. He can get his own shot, and he was a defender. He had to guard Michael Jordan, Clyde Drexler. He had to guard those guys, the two guys. That big belly dude right there could play defense. He had to guard Michael Jordan the most. And he was the best player in the game. He could score 40. He could score 30. He stopped doing all that stuff so he could sacrifice to win championships.
And I know Joe and I concede right now because we know we ain't the best shooters. we know who the best shooters are in this group. But I just like to start by just welcoming you both and saying that not only do we admire your game, but very proud of the way that you're handling yourself in terms of being champions, and just have an open conversation about how things are going in your career, parallel to all careers. And Mark Jackson said you were the best shooting backcourt ever that he's ever seen at that young age.
We talk about Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. In my opinion, they're the greatest shooting backcourt in the history of the game.
And that was in 2013. Now, he'd be like, everybody else would go, he's right. He's right.
How did you two take that, and what did you think about that?
LeBron wants AD traded. Oh, AD and LeBron don't get along no more. AD didn't go out there to France, so LeBron could go beg for some money. He's out there begging for money because he wants this for some project he's got going up over there. So I'm over there for the awards. He's over there networking, and he already doing some creepy stuff. He rubbing Rihanna's belly, and Rihanna's like, "Oh, stop! Don't do that. My makeup." Like she got makeup on her belly because she's showing her belly off. Oh, my bad. He's rubbing her belly. Hey, baby. And she was like, "Oh, don't do that." Yeah, he over there doing all kind of goofy stuff. Right. Like that could have been you, LeBron. You could have had a chick that had $1 billion. Tony Parker and Ginobili. Here's the thing. Tony Parker and Ginobili, they mostly they're international players from a whole nother league. Tony Parker's going to go. Ginobili's going to probably go in the future. Both of those guys, but they weren't the backcourt. Like, they came off the bench. Like, Isaiah and Joe came from college. Those guys are already professional players over in their league. That's like Tony Kukoc is in the Basketball Hall of Fame. Tony Kukoc is in the Hall of Fame, not from what he did in the NBA. He did that basically what he did in the Euro leagues. Ginobili's going to get in there mostly for what he did outside of the NBA. He was good in the NBA. They normally get in for their accomplishments across the pond over in the Euro leagues. You see, this is not the NBA Hall of Fame. This is the National Basketball Hall of Fame. Basketball Hall of Fame. When Joe Dumars was at McNeese State, he was probably the top 10 scorers of all time in NCAA history. In history, Joe Dumars has scored the most points, and he was like top 10 in NCAA history at that time when he left college. And nobody knew who he was but us. So they got rid of Jordan Poole's contract. So that was great. They corrected that mistake. So that was the first thing Dunleavy did, was to correct a mistake that was made by Bob Myers and get rid of Jordan Poole. So now that Jordan Poole is gone, they could re-sign Draymond Green. He's a new GM. Ain't no way in hell he's gonna come in here and start off and be the one that's sinking the team. He's like, nope, I'm gonna stick with what we got on this court, what everybody know. I just got here. I'm not gonna start splitting people up. Draymond is coming back. The owners want him back. He's coming back. Dumars guarded Jordan the best because he knew how to guard Michael Jordan. He knew what Jordan tendencies was, so he was always a good guesser of what Michael Jordan was going to do because he faced him the most. Like all the other guys, they really didn't have a stable grasp of the defense. Plus, he knew where his help was going to be. With the Pistons, we're the greatest defensive team in the history of the game of basketball. So we knew, and if you watch like The Last Dance and all these terrible documentaries, they do a horrible job of showing who the Detroit Pistons are. All they show you is the Detroit Pistons fouling people. That's it. All these stupid documentaries, that's all they show you. We just hit people and then we win. It's like, how the hell we get 86 points? If all we doing is smacking them around, we would all foul out of the game. That's how they minimize what we do. They chopped up The Last Dance to make it seem like all we did was beat up Michael Jordan. And we won the game. It's like, that is the dumbest analogy. Then you have people such as yourselves, and I don't blame y'all for thinking that. I don't blame y'all for thinking it, because that's how they promoted it to you. We kept beating up on Michael Jordan so he couldn't win a championship. We beat up on him, and it's like, why are they doing that and getting away with it? Then they went and lift weights, and then they came back and they beat them. I'm like, right, we were the first three-peat. We got cheated out of the first championship. When they called that foul on Lambeer to put Kareem on the line to win the game. We would have 3 in a row. We'd have been the first team to do that in this era. Bird, McHale, they never won back-to-back championships. They won 3, but they didn't win them back-to-back. He said they all cheat. Ask any Kings fan. Well, yeah, they did. The Kings got robbed this year against Golden State. They won that series. They got jobbed. But they wanted Golden State to win. The Kings had a great season. The Kings was one of the best teams in the NBA, period. They play everybody. It's exciting basketball to watch. The Sacramento Kings had the best games of anybody in the NBA this season. I got the league pass. I know when the Kings was playing, I wasn't missing that. You can forget that. Kings playing something. The Mavs, man, you talking about like just running gun. It was like a shootout fest at the old Corral. OK Corral, boy. It was great action. No, it wasn't they play hard, buddy. They got a lot of love. They got a lot of love in that series. They wanted to feed them to the Lakers and LeBron. Come on, man. We knew what time it was. It was just like the 91 Bulls and the Pistons. The Pistons that year shouldn't have even played the Bulls. They got carried to the Eastern Conference Finals. They didn't beat Boston that year. They did not beat Boston that year. They didn't beat the Atlanta Hawks. They went 5 games with the Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks really had their number that season. They should have been out in the first round. Well, Jordan Poole, Jordan Poole, Isaiah Thomas knew right away that Steph and Clay were them. They looking at the game and said, "Oh, they're us. They play like us. They run our plays." And even Steph sat here and said it. We basically run y'all set of plays. We watched y'all play, and we've seen it.
How we worked and what we did. I think the way that we approached the game every single day and how we complemented each other in terms of our strengths and weaknesses on the court.
Right.
And that just gave us all the confidence in the world to kind of take that and kind of prove them right.
Yeah.
This is a Hall of Fame backcourt. Clay and Steph will go in the Hall. Isaiah and Joe were the only team, and like one of the Celtics teams did it like in the 1960s or something. There's not been another Hall of Fame backcourt. I think recently they just sent like a Laker in there that got in like 30 years later. Like they just put him in. I don't even know if he's alive anymore, and he put him in the Hall. Yeah, no, Gerald Wilkins don't guard Michael Jordan great. And that was a big mistake. See, people watch The Last Dance, which is the worst Bulls documentary there is. It is so terrible. Like, it was just nothing on at the time. So it was the perfect time for them to put it on. Everybody was locked up for the pandemic. But to watch that garbage is not even the case. I never respected Klay Thompson. Yeah, you should, because the thing about Klay is right now Klay's not going to be what he was before. That's the point right there. The thing about Klay is going to defend your best guy on your team. Like, he's going to take those, like, y'all don't understand. He was defending the Kyrie Irvings. He was defending all of the top guards, Russell Westbrook. That wasn't Steph. That was Klay. Klay has to do that job and still go down there and be able to shoot those threes and catch and pop. And you've never had a guard that could do that, what he does with no dribble or one dribble at all. He got put up 60 points just off shooting threes. It was just the craziest shooting exhibition you ever wanted to see. People from the Bulls, he did that here in Chicago. The fans was cheering for them. It was more Golden State Warrior fans in there that used to be Bulls fans. They didn't rotate it over there to the Golden State Warriors. Oh, I did. We did a whole breakdown of the Chicago Bulls fake dynasty. We got a whole playlist for it. It was all fake. All 6 championships of the Bulls was phony. Take it all away. The 96 team was put together with a bunch of veteran players they needed to win, and the main piece they needed was Dennis Rodman. Without Dennis Rodman, they're done. It's not hating, it's the truth. See, you don't know any better. They promote those 6 championships to you. They ostracize the Pistons like they didn't exist. And they go right past that because they wanted to go, what? Bird. Magic. Right? It was Dr. J. He gave it to Magic and Bird, right? It was Dr. J. Then it was Magic and Bird. And Magic and Bird supposed to hand it to Michael Jordan. And it didn't happen that way. Because it was one guy that said, well, ho. No. I'm the best player in the world. The Detroit Pistons is like, nah, I don't go that way, bro. We took down Jordan and Bird. And took down Jordan. Nobody else was doing that. They lost Horace Grant and they had Corey Blunt. And Corey Blunt couldn't do anything but light a blunt. And it all went to hell. They lost with Horace Grant. And then when they played the Knicks, and they went to 7 games with the Knicks in the second round when Jordan was gone, when they played that season without Mike, and they ended up losing. But Horace Grant left the Bulls and got his money and went to the Orlando Magic. And then they went to the NBA Finals the next year. So Horace was the key. And Scotty wasn't. So when Scotty didn't have Horace and he had Corey Blunt, then you got to see what was really going on. I know because I know Corey Blunt's neighbor. See, Corey Blunt's neighbor was somebody I used to know, like one of my old landlords, the guy who used to own that other building we had. His wife used to live there with her first husband, not him, but her first husband. They used to live next door. And Corey Blunt's answer machine, like they could hear it, the walls were so thin, his answer machine would go off and people would be leaving him messages and everything, and they already see him all the time. They go, oh, hey, Corey. He come over there. He lived next door, and Scottie Pippen would come over there. They'd bring hoes. So, yeah, it was a whole bunch of things going on in 95 that people really didn't know nothing about. But we went through that later. Yeah, they used to hear all his messages. Yeah, no, believe me, I learned a lot through the neighbors. No, I did. Corey Blunt's wild parties over there, yep. And the neighbors, they was like, Corey, she had to go over there and tell him, like, Corey, we don't mind you having friends over. You know the walls are thin, and we got to get some sleep. So, Corey, can y'all please keep it down? Okay, we sorry, man. Thanks for coming over and not calling the cops. I appreciate that. She's like, thank you. But she's like, the other neighbors might do it. I'm not going to do it. But we just want to get some sleep, Corey. We got to get up in the morning. So Why is Isaiah still salty? Isaiah don't like to be disrespected by anybody. You see, he went up there when Jack did what he did. He went on Jack's show and had to correct Jack right to his face. Yeah, I saved you. That's right, you did. I forgot. I was gone. Yeah, you was out. You was out, Jack. But I saved you. Isaiah saved you. That's who saved you. Oh, Al saved me. No. Isaiah saved you. Isaiah saved you. That's the only reason you was in the league making millions of dollars still. And you gonna show that man that kind of disrespect. I can't honor that. You over there laughing with Charles Oakley. Wrong. Isaiah's from the west side of Chicago. You ain't gonna be no peon in the city from the west side, buddy. It don't work that way. That man had respect on these streets in the west side. Like he said, I made it real safe for you to walk those streets, Michael Jordan. My nephew lived with you, Michael, which is true. Isaiah Thomas' nephew lived with Michael Jordan. When he first got to the Chicago Bulls, he lived with Isaiah Thomas's nephew. His whole family basically knew Michael Jordan. So they were always friends. They never had any problems. You see, it's all this narrative and this crap that Michael Jordan want to put on his shoulders. Once Detroit always was winning, they became the bad guys because they kept beating the Bulls. And that's fine, but don't lie. And what he did was come out there and start telling a whole bunch of lies. I ain't never said nothing about him on the Dream Team. They got him on tape. On tape. Saying he didn't want Isaiah on the Dream Team. After he lied all them years saying he never did it. Saying he never said it. All them. No, that was them. I never said it. If Magic Johnson gonna say in his book, he said it. I said I ain't want Isaiah on the Dream Team. Right after he got Isaiah hosting one of his damn things. Because Magic is another one. You can't trust Magic at all. He's two-faced. Isaiah's a prideful man.
As we go forward, so I don't know. It was more so just every time your head coach kind of trying to be prophetic, and we want to kind of again try to prove him right. And it's been a fun journey for sure in terms of all that we've accomplished, but the humble days at the beginning that got us kind of off on the right track for sure. So. Pretty crazy to think about all the different backcourts in the history of the game that he was stacking us up against. That's the respect value that we have for different eras, and obviously you guys kind of leading that trend as well. So,
irrespective of how good they are on the court with their play, the way they handle themselves, I can see they've been around the NBA for a long time. Yeah, you can tell it's not new to them. Like this is new the first time I'm seeing it. Just the way they handle themselves, I look at them and go, yep, they've been around the NBA for a long time. Yeah, I like that. They know when to have fun. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How, when, like these guys, I can see that with them, but I always think about that when I see you guys. I think one of the funniest interviews I've seen is when Clay, I think you came to an interview with a beard.
Oh, yes.
Yes. It was a tough part of the season, early November. I know I was on camera, so I was relaxed, and I feel like I deserved a cold when I was doing it. I'm like 4 for 18 that night too, so I had to take my mind off things.
I had to take my mind off things, so yeah, I had a beer. He came to the game with a beer. Yeah, that was me after the game. I had a tough shoot night. I think I deserved a cold one. I didn't know they had a camera roll. Well, see, Clay grew up fighting with his brothers playing basketball. Like Clay was the one that really wasn't the player like everybody else was. Like, see, look at this. That's Clay when he was younger. Look at Clay. Clay getting in there, fighting his brothers. Get away from that ball. That's my ball. Kick. They throwing kicks, everything. They was brutal. The game, the game was physical for Clay. Clay played like he was playing football. He was slinging kids around, kicking them. Clay, Clay Thompson was entirely different. Stay off the weed. How is Zeke hating, asking for his respect? Michael Jordan is the hater. He the one bringing this up. And I took that personally. I still don't like him. Even though they did all that, I don't respect him. Nah. So, anyway, let's get situated here. We got the draft coming up tonight. So, we'll see how everything goes. Now y'all know why Poole is traded. They want to bring back Draymond Green. And Draymond be, man, I ain't want to leave no way, man. I don't know what Bob was talking about, man. He wasn't trying to save me. I told him, man, don't sign Jordan Poole. That's a mistake. But, they did what they did. So when I opted out, I knew, look, I'm going to be gone. I ain't playing. So when I opted out, they knew, y'all got to come with the bag. Well, I'm gone. Man, why would I stay around for a team that don't really appreciate Draymond Green? Because Draymond, they say I cost them 2 championships. Okay, how many championships you win without Draymond? 0. I could do that, man. Y'all better pay me my money and stop playing with me. No, Charles don't have nothing like that. Charles be Kenny. I agree with Draymond. They need to get rid of Poole ass, cause for $160 million, I don't care what's going on. You better score some points out there. $160 million, earning. He getting $160 million, earning. I don't care if his dog died. You better at least give me 10, or at least give me some rebounds or something. $160 million, earning. You can give me 5, and I'm at least give you a double-double. Well, it's a case of you know me. You know me. I felt real good today. Today was one of those days I got a lot of sleep. My body craved this sleep. You know, when you don't get good sleep, and get proper rest, everything seems to go to the wayside. You know? You start getting absent-minded to certain things that you were supposed to be doing. Well, you got to start asking yourself the serious questions. Or you're going to be in this situation all over again. Every day, every night. They got Dale, Steph, and Michael Kerr. Or Michael Thompson, rather. So how will he fit into the system? Okay, so if Chris Paul is on the team, Chris Paul will not be starting. Or do you start and go small and have Chris Paul and Clay on the same team? There'll be some games probably he starts, but he'll still get about 20-some minutes a game. But at this point, Chris Paul should not be starting in the NBA. So now if you have a guy that's getting $30 million to come off the bench for one season, does this help the Warriors? I say absolutely, because the Warriors, they still do need a big man. A legitimate big man who can go in and do big man things. Kevon Looney can't be trusted in these situations. He's too injury prone. He's a good guy, I like Loon, but you need a real legitimate big man. It's time to start bringing big men back to the game of basketball. You just saw the Joker show you what having a big man can do. Now, I agree with my boy T. He said when the Lakers played them in that bubble, and they had Dwight Howard, rather. Dwight Howard was very underrated for what he was doing. Now, Dwight Howard actually came in and was crushing the game. Like, he was over there just doing whatever. Dunking and turning and spinning and doing all kind of things, but it wasn't about that. It was his defense on the Joker. He was hitting. He was physical. He was keeping the Joker out of his spots, frustrating him. And then when the Joker would beat him and get to the bucket, AD would slide over and help on defense. The Lakers couldn't do that this time around because they don't have a legitimate big man who could challenge them. Miami was too small, and they went to every post situation they could. They would have Gordon post up on Vincent, take the point guard or the little small guard down there and post him up in the paint. Gordon can go up on him and score at will. You know, Michael Porter Jr. was getting down there. They had guys posting up. Denver will have this unit for probably about one more year, and then that'll be it. But it was about positions and playing Piston basketball, taking advantages of mismatch. When they put Duncan Robinson in the game, they got a pick and roll and put Bruce Brown on him. And Bruce Brown, Duncan is guarding Bruce Brown, and he was getting tapped. Cross. Cross, gone every time, because Bruce Brown will take him off the dribble every rip. You talk about old Scoop. Shoot, Scoop attacked that rim with nothing but vicious intent. Scoop. Boom! I wish we could have got Scoop, boy. Scoop being there dunking old people with a Piston uniform. Scoop the best player in this draft. Other than that, I can care less about this draft. This the Scoop draft. I don't care about no Wembanyama. Some soft Frenchman coming in there thinking he finna do what he did over there. He go up on there, somebody, 7-foot guy, he come in the lane and gonna block that ball, throw it down his throat. Yep, so let me get ready for this draft. All right, thank y'all for showing up and hitting the like button. I appreciate that. Thank y'all for hitting the like button, showing support. We didn't get a lot of super chats, though. I don't know what's going on with that. But thank y'all for showing up. I'm out. Thanking you.